Okay, sorry, viewers, we are back again and then trying to see if we can get the issues solved. Please, if you were with us here earlier, please can you join us now as we have tried to sort out the issues. Um, I think the challenge right now is the network, and then we have been unable to get a stable session and then see that everywhere is bright and clear. So first of all, I will apologize for what has happened earlier. I think this broadcast might not have a description. I don't know, due to the fact that we had to go and come back. So I will ask Mr. Lawrence to join us now. I hope it comes up faster and easier. So, Mr. Lawrence, if you can view us right now, please. Um, okay, can you hear me now? Good. I just hope the network doesn't disappoint anymore. Can you hear me? Mr. Lawrence, good evening. The network is not our friend today. And I wonder why it shows this time. Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. And this is 10 minutes past 8 o'clock. So we are 40 minutes behind schedule. Honestly, I really want to appreciate you for your patience, honestly, because it has been really difficult to bring you up online. And I know it's the network challenge, I understand. So I don't know if you can still hear me clearly, and then maybe we'll just proceed since we'll be saving up the video, and then when viewers can join us, then they have the video to watch, and then I'll be sharing the video subsequently. So I don't know. Honestly, good evening. How is the weather over there?
So it's hot and it's fun. We thank God. We thank God. It's a bit challenging,
Okay.
but
No, no, honestly,
it's
the
been
weather
thriving.
is challenging. You can see my face shining because of the heat. And then there is no even power supply. Look
Yeah,
at the shadow and all that on the
serious.
video. Honestly, I
I have
honestly
to
apologize because it has
no
not been
problem, sir.
easy trying to
I
get
have to
power
get
and all
down
that.
my subject.
Ah,
It's so sad. It's very sad.
you have done well. My lamp is already down, and then there is no even, but there is no hope of power supply and all that. So basically, no, I'm excited that no matter what, we have been able to surmount the challenges. Trying to get it done long ago on other platforms. All right. So okay, this network is hell bent on giving us a hard day, but by the grace of God, we will surmount.
Yeah. So, yes,
All right. So good evening to our lovely viewers. I want to appreciate all of us that are actually watching us now. For those who will join us subsequently and those who will watch um, the recorded broadcast subsequently, I want to thank you for joining us. And I want to also use this opportunity and privilege to apologize for what has happened, because we're supposed to start this program by 7:30 on the dot, and then we tried to even get online before 7:30, but we couldn't. So if you can see us, or you're seeing the notification right now, please send in your favorite emoji so that we know you can see us. So thank you very much, and I hope our apologies are accepted, or I hope my apologies are accepted. So my name is Ayuba Michael, and by the grace of God, I'm a legal practitioner. Like people humbly say, by the grace of God, I'm a legal practitioner. And I love public speaking, I love politics, I love leadership, and then I love mentorship. So to me, tonight is uh, no other person. Some of us might know him and some might not know him, but he has been my friend all the way from when I was in the university, and we are still friends up to now. And then, trust me, he's a very smart and intelligent young man. I wouldn't want to oversay or overdo. I remember one funny joke where somebody was saying, he said he actually introduced a reverend doctor at an event. He introduced him as Doctor He introduced him as a doctor. He didn't put the reverend, and the man sat down quietly and said, and he was not looking at him like, okay, I have introduced you. Why are you not coming up? The man said, no, he has not been properly addressed. So I will beg to be excused by Mr. Lawrence, just in case I did not introduce you properly. But one thing I know about Mr. Lawrence is that he's an aspirant of the Nigerian bar, and he has been my colleague all the way from university, and then we have known each other. And then he's somebody who is very passionate about young people, and he has been involved in organizing some interesting programs that are focused on teenage life, and then he has been advising parents both locally and internationally on how to handle their teenage kids, and then he has helped restore a lot of kids to their parents. And when I say restore, when you have wayward children and then you don't know how to go about it, Mr. Lawrence has been involved in that, and then he has been doing a lot in that respect. So I wish to say, even though I did not tell him earlier, that we are not just looking at peer pressure tonight from the point of teenagers alone, because when we talk about peer pressure, a lot of people, adults, just feel it's all about young kids in primary school, and then their friend asks them to test wine, test weed, and do these things that okay they ordinarily ought not to do. But this is quite different because we'll be taking it a bit higher and a bit to another level. So, Mr. Lawrence, even though I've said some things concerning your, I don't know if there are still areas you feel I didn't touch very well. Maybe we'll do that now. Then we'll now proceed directly to our conversation. So over to you, Adam.
Sorry, sorry, the network is glitching. I don't know if you can repeat that last statement.
Okay, I said
Yeah.
I've said a lot concerning you. I don't know if there was something I didn't mention that you would like members of our audience to know, considering the fact that this video will be shared across other platforms subsequently. So, if you can just tell us maybe one or two things you want us to know about you. Did you get
Hello?
me?
I
Did you
didn't.
hear me?
I didn't. Like it kept glitching throughout the statement, the
Oh
sentence you're
God.
making.
I could actually see how the video is actually skipping and all that,
But
and I understand.
later,
Wow. Can you hear me now?
yes, I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
I was saying that before we move into the conversation proper, I don't know if there is something you want members of the audience to know about you that I was not able to mention.
No, it's okay. You said it all. Actually, it was a good introduction. Thank you so much. I feel honored. Well,
Okay,
when I saw the topic, peer pressure, I was delighted because I've been there. We all
okay.
have been there. That's it. We all have been there. I've been that way water once. I know I could go
Wow.
years back when doing every morning devotion. My mom would have to pray for me, and she took me to pastors and a lot of
Okay.
places. So I've actually been there, and
Yeah.
that's that's what drew my attention to teenagers nationally. I was surprised when I received calls from people as far as India. Yes, as regards their children, and we've gone a long way. God has been helping us, and we've been helping youth and teenagers across the globe. Actually, I thank God. So that's just an addition to what you said.
I don't know what is happening with network. Like everything is intact from my end, and then we're having this challenge.
Let's just go on record it.
I don't know if you can hear me now.
Yes, I can hear you, sir, loud and clear.
Okay. Maybe we should just go straight to the conversation. Um, for you, what do you consider peer pressure to be? There are certain concepts that when you want to look at them, you have to look at what they are not and what. certain concepts are better explained when you look at what they are not and what they are. So, briefly, maybe you tell us if there are, what is this peer pressure we are talking about? You know, there are certain concepts you hear about them, but you just hear about them passively, but they have not been actually defined. So when we talk about
true.
peer pressure, what should members of the public expect? What is it as a concept? What does it mean?
Okay.
Yes.
Well, peer pressure basically means influence from a group of people, influence from peers. Peers are people of the same age, your classmates, kids in your community that you range around the same age, the society at large.
Okay.
What that your particular set of people, your growth stage is being divided to when you're a child, when you're a teenager, when you're an adult, a young adult, an adult, and down to maturity. So what that society has on everyone. I think that's basically what peer pressure means. The influence you get from the society and from the peers. That's people that you range across the same age. I think that's basically what um, peer pressure means to the layman. If you are breaking it down to the understanding of everyone. Yes, sir.
Okay.
I don't know if you can hear me.
So yes, I can hear you. Just a little bit distorted and other. So okay. I haven't looked at that. It means peer pressure could be actually positive, it could actually be negative, depends, right? Or it just has to do with anything negative that has to come out from a group or a circle. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you, sir. I can't hear you. So sorry.
I was asking, I said earlier, I said, does peer pressure always have to do with the negative influences, or it's anything influence and it's anything whether positive, negative, it just has to do with influence. What?
Yes, it can both be positive and negative. It can both be positive and negative. You see, peer pressure, I see peer pressure as a must in the life of an individual. As long as you are growing, and as social studies defines it in our primary school, in our secondary school, junior secondary school, if a man is a social being, so as long as you are alive and as long as you are a human being willing to socialize, you must go through the form of peer pressure. It can either be positive or negative. Yeah, it can
Okay.
either be positive or negative. Yes, sir.
All right. So peer pressure could actually be negative or positive because all this while, if you ask a lot of people when they talk about peer pressure, like I said earlier on in our introduction, everybody mind runs down to the negative thing, the negative things that
True,
happen. So
true.
it means, yeah, everybody's so it means we have to relearn the fact or the idea that peer pressure only has to do with negative stuff, and then it only has to do with the bad things you have to learn as you're growing up as a kid. And another thing I want to ask you before I allow you just do the talking around peer pressure is, does it have to always do with teenagers alone? Can a man of 70 be under peer pressure? Let's say, for example, or a man of 65, 55, can he be under peer pressure?
Sure. A man of 70, a man of 80 can be under peer pressure. Yes. As long as you
I actually
are
wonder what
alive and
kind
as
of
long as
peer
you are
pressure
growing
is.
and evolving, you definitely fall under peer pressure. Yeah. Let me cite an example. An example is probably when your mother comes home and her mood changes, and you ask her why, and she say she went to the women meeting, and everybody is telling her how their daughters are getting married, and you and all your daughter is there at home not getting married. So this is the peer pressure that comes from her peers. Yeah.
Yeah,
So a man of 60, a man of 65, they fall under pressure.
I
They
think
fall under peer pressure.
I recently had a conversation with somebody recently, and then the person was trying to explain as to why the young boys, some people, those days now, kings usually were elderly and then few times younger people. And then these guys, when they become kings, the next thing they do is just marry a lot of women. And somebody said, "You think this is ordinary?" No, they are not ordinary. They are influences and powers. I was like, if one is big enough and then he's a king already, what's influencing him to marry? Somebody said India, circle of kings. They will be measured according to number of wives they have. A king that has one wife will be seen as a weakling, even if he is doing well, and then his people are fending well. People will tell him, other kings will tell him, I'm not talking to mere men like you that cannot even keep up to two wives at home. Yeah, because of you are scared, you are keeping one, and then these guys are influenced, and then because they want to prove a point, and then they go. So I get it from that point. So I'll just allow you go around and tell us very much freely on your own what is peer pressure. Then I will now put forth questions that I've already designed so that probably we'll round up, considering the fact that we didn't have a lot of time, and then the network was seriously a problem at the beginning, even though it is still a problem right now. You can still see that your video is still posting and all that. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. So over to you. So let it just be like a few minutes
Thank you.
lecture.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. You said let it just be like few minutes.
Yes, few minutes lecture. Let it just be. I just want
Sorry,
you
I
to
didn't get that last
speak on.
sentence, sir.
I said, let it just be like a few minutes lecture where you just talk about certain things you have actually prepared regarding this topic, and then probably I'll just ask few questions, and then we'll think of how to round up, and then we'll make proper preparations for how we can come up better with this.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you
Yes.
so much for the opportunity once
Yes.
again. Yes. You see, when we speak of peer pressure, it's like I said, it has to do with everyone as long as you are alive. See,
Yes.
there are points where in your life you do something that ordinarily you wouldn't do, but you find yourself doing them. Basically because the society at that time terms it as being cool, and the society terms it as not being cool. So you either do them or not do them. And we have the positive and negative peer pressure. So can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
Yeah. We have positive and negative peer pressure. One example I would cite that happens in Nigeria that was trending all over the globe was what happened in 2020, the prayer walk that happened in various states. That's an example of peer pressure, but most people wouldn't know. Because ordinarily, a youth would not stand up and start praying on the street. But
Yes.
he saw his peers doing the same thing in his state, and that's motivated something in him, and he found himself doing that. The prayer work that
The
happened in
same thing.
2020, and it happened in various states. So we can tell that as a positive peer pressure because we saw the number of youth that came out to pray. We saw the environment that went on from state to state, and it's a good one. Then we have negative
Yes.
ones. Negative peer pressure that it's so alarming in our world. It's sad how it's painful for ladies now. It's more painful for ladies to lose their phones than for them to lose their virginity. It's so sad. It's so sad that I saw a podcast on TikTok on how a lady is justifying the fact that being a virgin at 23 is not a that is
As
this
what?
word the Gen Z likes to use. That being a virgin at 23 is not something to brag about.
Wow.
Yes, we have a lot of negative influences that has been going around social media. The youth involved in Yahoo Yahoo, the ladies involved in hookup, teenage ladies. And the
Yes.
thing is, they see these things as being cool. They see these things as being cool. That's what the society justifies as being cool. In different parts of the society, like in a place like Abuja, you go out and you see
Yes.
teenage children outside by 9, by 8, down to 10 p.m. What are they doing outside?
Yes.
The
Yes.
society there has defined that as being cool. So that's peer pressure on their own end. That's peer pressure on their own end. I could recall counseling.
Okay.
He called me and he was crying actually. He was crying and he felt bitter. According to him, that he fought with his friends that day because he rented the house. They actually
I think the
rented the house
network is
and the drive. Okay, can you hear me now?
okay. Yes, I can.
Yes. So they rented the house and they're all driving their parents' cars. And they were conversing with him and they asked him if he can drive. And he said he can't even drive. You know like, what's happening with the cars that's meaning like that your father's garage. His father has about two cars, and the boy is just 14 years. So the argument got heated up that he got to a point that he punched one of them actually, and they were laughing at him, terming him as being not cool because that's what the society sees as being not cool. So they termed him as being not cool, and he felt really bad. He felt really bad, and he reached out to me and he was crying. Ordinarily, you would see this thing as because of your experience and because of your age, you would see it as being childish for him to be crying, but from his own perspective, his own teenage ideology, he felt really bad. And that's what the
Yeah.
society is presenting to these people. The society has presented to them that going to school is not cool, going to church is not cool, doing the
Can
cool
you hear
way
me?
of life, going out, is the cool way of life. So that's the negative peer pressures that we have. That's the negative peer pressures that we have. Another thing I would like to point here is under the types of peer pressure, we have the spoken and unspoken peer pressure. Spoken and unspoken peer pressure. Spoken peer pressure, your friends.
Just
Sorry, sir, can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you now. I think the network is breaking and coming up.
Okay. So please, where did you get me last? So maybe I can start from there.
Yeah, I think you talked about a young guy who his friends walk into a house and then there were cars parked in the garage and he can't drive. I think that is
Yes.
a similar experience I had recently. I don't know how to drive a car actually. And then I was made fun of. Like, how can a guy of your age, your level of intelligence cannot drive? What if somebody calls you and say, come and pick up a guy? I say, if a car is meant for me, what is driving that I cannot learn in 1 month, 2 months? Why am I, I was under the pressure that I actually organized for a class, a driving class, and then it was not successful because other schedules came and interrupted it. That's where I actually stopped.
Okay. Okay. So from there, I said the society has termed a lot of things as being cool and being not cool. So it's sad that parents of this age have extra work to do on their children. And
Wow.
we, when we grow up, we have double work to do on our children, especially social media and the influence it has on teenagers. You go to social
Okay.
media and you see young ladies of 14, 13, they start flaunting their bodies on TikTok, they start flaunting their bodies on Facebook and on other
I think
social
that's
media
one of the
accounts
biggest
because
challenges
on their
right
social
now,
media accounts
especially
because
on
that is
Facebook.
what the society has turned to be cool for them. That is what the society has turned to be cool for them. So can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can. No, the network is just all right. Go ahead. I can hear you now.
Yes, I would also like to talk of spoken and unspoken peer pressure. The spoken peer pressure is situations where your friends lure you into doing something. Whereby, let me say, you have a clique of friends and they lure you into smoking. They tell you this thing,
Verbally. Okay.
they influence you into doing this thing, putting up pressure on you. Just like the guy I counseled, how his friends told him that he's staying with his parents at the age of 14, when then they are staying alone. It's not cool. It's not driving a car when they have their own cars. It's not being cool. And oh, that is spoken peer pressure. They are telling him these things and they are mounting the pressure on him. Then we
Yes.
have the unspoken peer pressure. That's what the society presents to us. You find yourself doing some things that ordinarily you wouldn't do because that is not who you are. But because of how the society has formed it to be, you do that thing. You find yourself doing that. That is the unspoken peer pressure. It comes from outside forces. That's from the society itself. It comes from
Okay.
outside forces like social media, like from the environment you live in, and all. Like ladies that are in Lagos, sorry to say, it's not like I'm telling them as being bad or the culture there is different from that which you have in the north, in a place like Zaria.
Yes.
So the
Yes.
pressures they face there, the pressures they face there is different from here. So that's all about spoken and unspoken peer pressure. Then it's sad that the world is is so vulnerable at this point, especially to kids, to teenagers. You see, because of the pressure they're going through, ordinarily in our days when we were growing up, we usually come home outside, we find our father sitting outside and thinking, we think it's heat, but eventually we grow up and we understand that it's because of the pressure that he has on his head that make him to sit down outside and think.
Yeah.
In this time and age, it's not just the fathers that think. In this time and age, even the teenagers think. Even the teenagers fall depressed because of the pressure that the society has mounted upon them and their peers have mounted upon them. Where they have the negatives being appreciated by the society. What am I saying? Especially Yahoo Yahoo, this internet fraud. It's something that is being appreciated. Even some families. I know families that the parents encourage the children to get into this. And I counseled a lady that she said her parents compared her to her cousin. She doesn't know they don't know that her cousin sister does this hookup thing. She goes out, sleep and get the money. So she even opened the salon for herself. And the parents are telling her as being worthless. They're telling her as being worthless.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was getting to her because at that point staying at home was choking her. Staying at home, she would make a small mistake and her father would yell at her, insult her, tell her that she's just eating his food and she's not being productive and all. So she was saying, unfortunately, actually, the lady has gotten into the lifestyle. I tried, I prayed, we spoke, but eventually she got into the hookup business, and now she doesn't even reply my text again. So it yes, it's so sad. It's so sad that the society has presented these things and is being appreciated. The negatives are being appreciated. That's more on peer pressure. That's more on the pressure they're facing. Even our parents are facing pressures from their peers, and in turn they force these pressures down on us. I think I was privileged to write a book like sometimes last year, which I interviewed some parents and I had the interviews coupled in the book, but I've not published it yet because of some
Okay.
factors
I look forward to seeing that
beyond my
anyway.
because of some factors beyond my control. It's actually talking on the pressures we face from society, the pressures
Okay.
we face from our peers, the pressures we face from our parents, and the pressures that our parents face, and ways in which parents can handle their teenage and youthful children in this time and age. So our parents are also going through a lot of pressure, and in turn, mount these pressures on us, especially our African parents, especially our African parents. We
Okay.
go out, see their friends, the achievement that their friends have. Because yes, even our dads at 65, it's a thing of shame for them to sit down with their friends and maybe their friends have houses and they're still renting their own households.
Okay.
Yeah,
Power has been restored
it's a thing of
now.
just
I guess you can see me very well.
yes, I can see it very well. Loud and clear. It's clear now, sir. Yeah.
Yes.
So like I was saying, like our fathers, it's a thing of shame for them to be among their peers, and their peers have homes that they've built, and they're still living in a rented apartment.
Yes.
So this pressure comes in various forms. This pressure comes in various forms. I like elaborating this thing because people don't really understand the meaning of peer pressure. People don't really get the concept. Just like you said, when we mention peer pressure, people just feel it's the negative.
They
They
just
feel it has to do
shove it
with
down, and
teenagers,
it is negative, and it is for the teenagers alone. But I
for
tell
the
you, there are
teenagers
so many.
alone.
I am beginning to realize that, especially when you talk about the unspoken peer pressures. I think, in
Yeah,
fact, that is the stage we are currently in right now, because the unspoken peer pressure is it's totally like it's way out of hand right now as we speak. There are so many things going on. You know that these things are influenced, and then they are caused by these unspoken peer pressures. Recently, somebody got married, and then I was like, no, what's going on? This is a young lady that still have a lot of things to achieve, and then and somebody said, no, that it's part of the requirement from their family, or whosoever is responsible for their guardianship, that they should get married to wealthy persons. So it doesn't matter if the lady is young and she's getting married to somebody where she has no say. Because I don't know how people go into a relationship where they have no say. I don't know. For me, it's not a thing to do. You don't have
actually.
negotiating power. I'm not talking about dragging who is the head of the family or not. I'm not for that idea at all. The family should have a proper head, which I believe should be a man. But where the marriage is organized in such a way that the other party does not have the power to contribute and say, okay, this is how I feel we should drive this family. Because what? You have already bought everything. I paid your bride price. I did everything your parents wanted. I did everything you wanted. You were dancing and happy during our wedding. So what are you talking about? This is a challenge. This is a problem. And what is causing this is the pressure. I want to be married because I just see a lot of videos and people are just so excited. Man, prepare them and they marry. And then you ask them, what kind of marriage do you want to have? What kind of family do you want to have? They have no idea, but they have an idea about what they want their weddings to look like. So when you were talking
Right.
about this unspoken peer pressure, I think that is like a big, big, big deal. Recently, I and my colleagues were called to the bar, and guys were just coming up. I'm working in this law firm. They are paying me so amount of money. I'm working here, and we're beginning to hear news of some people owning law firms, and some other guys buying cars. I'm like, okay, good. This is nice. You get, and then you are here. You don't even know how to drive. So this explanation about unspoken peer pressures brings to light the reality. And this is me that we say, okay, I know what I'm doing with my life. How much more a lot of people who don't even really understand what they're about or life is all about. I don't know if you can hear me now.
Yes, I can hear you now. Loud and clear,
Eh,
sir. Loud and clear.
Yes. So I don't know if I am having these challenges because sometimes I was talking to a friend recently when it comes to this marital stuff, and then the person was saying, why is it that he's beginning to see posts about marriage regular? And I said, no, just realize one thing. You are at the stage where these things are one of the activities happening. And so
True.
for this age that you are, this is one of the activities, and then there will certainly be pressure, and then there will certainly be um, the need. Just know that reality will bring these things around you. So it's not for you to now look at these things and tell yourself, no, this is not what I want to do. This is not what I really want to be. You have to tell yourself, this is who I am. I want to be. This is what I want to achieve, and all that before you can scale through these pressures. If not, before you know, everywhere is covered, and then you can't breathe. Before you know, they are making posts to choke you. So you must tell yourself, yes, this idea of let me prepare them and let me, this kind of thing now.
True.
So,
Yeah.
so I actually spoke to her. She's my friend, and I told her, I think I spoke to a guy and a lady at the same time when that happened. And I said, these are things we could actually look. And then sometimes we pretend like, okay, I don't want to be pressured. No, no, this thing will definitely get you one way or the other. But you must tell yourself, this is what I want. This is what I want to do. So when we talk about this peer pressure thing, I understand it from that perspective too. And I know there are a lot of things. I don't know if you hang out a lot, and the legal profession requires you to connect and stay with
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And then people start telling you, you are going out, you don't take alcohol. How are you going to handle that? I'm like, no, uh, I don't think it's a big deal. And that is why I have a few friends, if you ask me, because I don't want somebody using alcohol to brandish alcohol at my face. I might not come out outrightly and tell you stop it. And if I have the opportunity, I'll tell you stop it. Whether you take alcohol or you don't take it, nothing is going to happen to your life. So I tell people it's not a big deal to stop it, and it's not a big deal to start it. But if I have chosen not to, why don't you let me be? If we go to a bar or a restaurant to eat and I'm ordering for food with water, you should be okay with it. Just as you're ordering for your food, you're ordering for your Heineken, Star Lager, whatsoever you're doing. I don't know if you're getting my point. So that's the perspective I see these things from. But I realize that with time, when these people begin to speak into you and then mount psychological pressure on you, and then you begin to consider the option. Maybe let me start with there is this one, this small stout they call it, and they say it's for women. And then there is this one currently now they will tell you, Smirnoff Ice. It's just sweet. Is
Yeah. They say
you so and then somebody tell you, they even know people who did not do well in mathematics will tell you, the alcohol content is just like 4% to 5. You know the percentage of alcohol, but if I ask you about your mathematics. So I think This is some of the these are some of the challenges we are facing. So when we talk about this peer pressure tonight, I really get it. And then apart from you talking about it, these are certain issues that I think they should be topics on their own. When you talk about this alcoholics and their tricks, and when you talk about this hookup merchants and their tricks, I think young people who are still on the right path need to know. I remember Professor Akande, I don't know, she's one of our lecturers at ABU. She used to say that for you to catch a criminal, you have to be able to think like one. And then when she's explaining a criminal law concept, you say for you to understand how the criminal operates, you have to put yourself in an angle, in a perspective where you'll be able to see if I want to steal this phone now, how will I go about it? Then you are not able to reason and say, once a criminal is coming around this place, these are the tactics he will display. So I feel it's a point of call for those of us who have the passion towards this thing that I'm not really bothered that a lot of people are not viewing these videos right now, or just few people are viewing it. My goal is to see that we have started something and then we are able to reach people. And if we can do this over time and over time, and then I believe that the videos will always be there for people who want to save themselves, who want to help themselves to see and understand that these things exist and this is how we can go about it. So and I think we should talk about more about peer pressure in all senses, from adults let me just say from babies to teenagers, and to see how far we can go. So I don't know, considering our time is I think the time is around, what's the time now? 8:45. So yes. So maybe let's begin to see the way forward, even though we have been able to identify some of these sorts of these things. And I think I actually that unspoken source of peer pressure is one thing that actually struck my mind in this conversation, and it has opened my mind to see that even I too can be under pressure, even though we claim, yeah, so everybody can be under peer pressure, and I understand. So, but I want us to start talking about the solutions and the way forward and how these things can be overcome. I don't know. So
Okay.
I'll
Yes.
be
When you were speaking, you said you have limited friends.
yes,
That's because you choose your friends wisely, and you know that amongst
yes,
your friends, they can't influence you into doing something you don't want to do. These are people that you have
yes,
the same ideology. So that's I
yes.
think that's the let me say that's the second. I want to say this because let me escape my memory. That's the second
Okay,
step in overcoming peer pressure. Choosing your friends wisely. Choosing your
okay,
friends wisely.
okay.
Yes, choosing your circle of friends wisely. You choose people that you know you have the same ideology. I am I am Lawrence. I counsel youth. I look forward to becoming a motivational speaker and help a lot of people. So I need to choose people that I know have the same ideology as me. People that once I tell them that I wouldn't do this, they will respect my view of not doing it.
Yes, 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 yes,
People that when they see me doing things, I have my best friend, actually, my best friend enjoys when he sees me maybe being relaxed, doing things I'm not supposed to do. He cautions me. He tells me,
yes,
you're not supposed to be doing this. You're not supposed to be doing this. Then I would compose myself. Because this is someone that tells me the truth. And
yes,
he knows that if he wants me to do something and I say I wouldn't do it, he knows that yes, this is my kind of person. So he wouldn't even bug or whenever people come to that, they say, this your friend is too strict. He's always reading, he's always in his room. But he knows that, so he will just smile. He will just smile and look at them, and he wouldn't even respond to them because he
yeah,
knows my kind of person. So the
yes,
second
yes,
step is choosing your friends right, especially
yeah,
from your teenage years. And the first step, the first step is knowing yourself. Know who you are, what you want to be. Be proud of yourself. If you want to become a chronic smoker, be a smoker. Let us know that yes, you are smoking, you are drinking, doing everything.
and you're doing it proudly,
Yes,
Abby.
you are doing it proudly. Yes, but if you want to live according to the positive lives and you appreciate this so much, then know who you are. Let the society not push you, even though it's so difficult for the society not to push you. It's so
Yes,
difficult for the society not to
yes,
push
yes,
you. Yes, know who you are as the ladies. Know who you are. What do you want to achieve? the great women you see today, they have a lifestyle. Read their stories. You see how their lifestyle is.
There
Embrace this lifestyle
is a
and
saying
hold it to
actually in that
yourself.
respect. I said there is
Yeah.
a saying in that respect that the secret of great men are in their stories, all right? If you want to be great, automatically you have to follow great men and then
Follow
see
their
what they do,
stories. And
how they do.
yeah.
Yes. So
So when you know yourself, it will make you it solves, let me say, 50% of your problem, because it makes you understand what you should do and what you should not do. What
yes.
should put pressure on your shoulders, and what shouldn't put pressure on my shoulders. So like for a person like me, the fact that I go out and let me cite this it might sound silly, but this is another sort of peer pressure. You go out, you buy food with your money, and you eat, and you remain like half of the food on the plate. Why?
Ah, no, I'm not part of it.
Why?
You're trying to impress. Yeah, no, no, no,
Thank
no.
you.
In fact,
So these
in
are
the
this
clique,
this
I'm the one that usually finish the food. I finish everything I paid for because I know even the smallest part of the food constitute the amount I paid for the food. So where am I leaving it? And then my guys are like, "Guy, calm down." I'm like, no. At least in that one, I know I don't play with that. You know, it's quite funny actually what you just said.
thank
Now
you.
it's and to be honest, it's not about being civil. That's waste of resource. You go, you
Mm.
order food for, let's take for example, for places where
Yeah.
food
Yeah.
prices are. I know some hotels that you can't order a food less than 2K, and then when I sit down to eat there once in a while, let me use that word once in a while before somebody think I start going to hotels to eat or restaurants to eat. But it's actually a nice place. And you just want to sit down with your clique and then discuss one or two, and then way forward, plan some programs, and then next thing, and then you see people paid for food 5K, 10K, and they ate quarter. Just they eat the meat scanty in such a way to. I'm like, what the hell was that? Do we need to go this way? And then it has now become a norm that if you eat and clean your plates and clean everything you paid for, it's like, okay, you are the guy that is not civil. You are the guy that doesn't know what he's doing. I'm like, no, please let
Your
everybody.
uncle. Your uncle.
Yes. So it's like, I remember one certain day I tried to finish up the food on my plate, and my friend was telling me, now lawyer you be. I said, when I was paying for this food, or when anybody was paying for this food, I didn't see where they said, okay, minus certain amount for lawyers.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
then I paid because I wanted to eat to be full, and then you want me to leave some part of the food because, okay, you don't want these guys. I don't have any business with them. And we both don't have any business. So why should I be under the, why should I leave some food on my table where I've paid for it? And remember that it looks fanciful. It looks like you are trying to be civil and elitist in your thinking. But remember that a lot of people who don't even have food to eat.
Sure.
I remember,
Sure.
yes, and then you eat and you leave the plate half, and then they pack this food and then throw it away or give it to animals. And then the
Give it
same
to
you
them.
cannot give to people at home. You can't support them. So you waste resources. Remember that people begging you for urgent 2K. Who really need it? Not urgent 2K in the sense of the urgent 2K, disrespectfully, but there are people who really need your help, who need your support. And then you are there, you can't help them, but you go to a restaurant, buy food for 3,000, 4,000, then you don't finish it. If you know that would be the case, why don't you just buy something small and eat and go away? But,
These are
you
these
know,
are an example of the unspoken pressure that is the society has presented
actually,
to everyone.
yes,
Yeah.
it
Because
is. I remember, I think once that
yeah,
I was talking about ethics with people, I said, it is polite when you go to people's house and they give you food. You eat everything because it shows you appreciate them and you don't waste their food because not everybody will be able to eat what you have eaten and then you remain and then the leftovers. And someone was like, why do you go to people's house and eat everything? I said, then when they are serving, you have to tell them. I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Wow, the network is. Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
Okay, I don't know where you heard me last. Let me see if I can go back.
No, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I said I don't know the place you stopped hearing me.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes. So
Okay.
I was actually talking about ethics, and then I said I remember telling somebody that when you go to people's house, you're supposed to eat everything they give you, so that you don't waste their
Oh,
food. And then he was like, "How do you go to people's food and empty the plate?" I said, "No. If you know you can't finish it, immediately the food is dished on the plate and it's being brought before you. You tell them I can't finish it. They should reduce it. But when you go there, you say thank you, they give you food, you just eat like 5 spoons out of it. Some certain people might not be able to eat the leftovers, and then the food is being wasted. What have you done? You wasted their resources, you wasted their food, you wasted their efforts. So when you are being served food, especially in people's house, you should not be psychologically concerned to say, no, I can't finish this. And no matter how small that food is, you shouldn't leave anything on the plate. You should be able to finish it. That is you telling them the food is sweet and you appreciate them and you appreciate the sacrifice they have made to provide you food. Not going there to eat 5 spoons out of the whole plate and then you drink water and just relax and start pressing your phone, feeling like oh you are some funky guy or new guy in town. That is not correct. So I understand from that point. I understand from that point, and I see it happen to a lot of people. And then it is this kind of conversation that will help a lot of us. Like I can boldly say it, I finish my food wherever I go.
true.
And not because I'm a foodie, but I understand the importance. Like most of the time, I go out with my elder brothers, and they buy me food. Like okay, they just say, okay, since they are my elders, and they just okay decide to buy me food. I don't think it's okay if they, because there is sometimes most of the time we go out to drink tea, and then imagine them buying you a whole there is this jar of tea they serve all these Arabian teas, and then maybe sometimes they buy it for all of us to
Obviously,
drink, and then
Morocco.
and remember you are the one that engineered the idea of drinking tea from home. Okay, you're there, they have given you tea and you just drink 1 cup and then you just throw away the remaining thing. And these teas are not things you just get for 200, 300. No matter how, in fact, this has nothing to even do with the amount of money that was expended on getting these items. It is okay that something was given to you and then you are able to do the right thing and the needful thing to it. Yeah. So I think people's attention should be drawn to this. So I hope that people will see this video subsequently. We look at this aspect and be able to clear their minds off. I think we are you with me? We are back to network issues and challenges. Hello, can you hear me? Hello, are you able to hear me, sir?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me? Yes,
Yes.
I'm hearing, but the network is glitching. It comes up and it ceases. It comes up and ceases like that.
Okay. Well, um, I will actually say we have discussed quite some key and important points, and I think I would like us to begin to anchor and begin to round up our discussions for tonight. I honestly want us to look for a time. I don't know. I don't know if there will ever be a time where network will be great and then have. Yeah, there are a lot of things to discuss about. A lot of things to talk about. Okay, I think Mr. Lawrence has gone off. I think due to network issues. So um, I just want to appreciate Mr. Lawrence for his time and then effort to be here with us all through the struggle to be online. And then I think I'll bring him on so that he will make his final address to all of us. And then once he's able to come up so that he give us his final words, and then I think we will close for today. And then I think our subsequent broadcasts, we might not want to do this elaborate invitation and all that. So if you want to always view us and be part of this, please um, be on this page and we always come online and then you see us. I hope that we'll hold subsequent conversations with Mr. Lawrence. I actually have enjoyed this conversation and then I'm trying to bring him online and then it is not coming up again. So I don't know. Sir, if you can hear me, I honestly want to apologize for the inconveniences caused considering the network and technical issues we are having. And to our viewers, for those that were able to stay with us till this time, we appreciate you for actually exercising patience and for bearing with us. We really hope that with time we will get better, and with time we'll be able to come to you in a better way and a more formidable manner. I think I'm trying to add him, and then it's showing the person cannot join due to technical issues. I don't know. I will still try once more to see if Mr. Lawrence can join us so that he give us his final words. Consider the time and we have spent and how far we have come. So, Mr. Lawrence, if you can still hear me, please try to reconnect with us and see. We still want to hear your final words before we go our way this evening. Thank you very much, everyone. All right. We have not been able to bring Mr. Lawrence back. I wanted him to actually give us his final words and the way forward, but I think we started by talking about trying to know who you are. I want to encourage us young people, or at what age you are, just tell yourself, sit down, tell yourself, this is who I want to be, and this who I don't want to be. You have to tell yourself convincingly and build your character around what you have told yourself. This is the kind of person I want to be. This is the kind of woman I want to be. This is the kind of man I want to be. And then, if you have chosen that, okay, this is the kind of man or woman I want to be, ask yourself, those who are at that level currently in life, what did they do? What were their choices? What were they able to do, and what were they not able to do? And then you follow that path, and then you'll be able to tell yourself. And then, secondly, you have to learn to look for like minds. Like minds. If you work with like minds, it's easier for you to achieve what you want to achieve. And then follow friends who have the same goals and purpose with you. And like I remember talking about public speaking with somebody, and somebody asked me, "What is this public speaking of the thing you're always talking about?" The truth is, the person does not appreciate or understand what public speaking is. So it will actually be difficult for such person to work with me, because I'll be talking about how we go live, talk about certain issues, and the person thinks, "Oh, this is nonsense." So such kind of person cannot be your friend. And then I think you should grow in your ability to say no. You should develop the ability and the power and the willingness to say no. Certain things should not just come to you and then you allow them fly. Um, People will always come to you and advise you on issues and things, but you should be able to tell yourself, this is what I want, and this is what I want to be. And then if you're able to get on that, you you tell them no. It's not every invitation you honor, and you should be able to work fast friends. Like for me, uh, each at each stage of my life, I had friends at each stage, and we're very close friends. And I've been able to walk past various and a lot of my friends, because not because they are not good people or they are bad people. No, from time to time, I grow, and apart from growth, I walk past certain stages. So if our relationship is not longer bringing results according to my purpose and what I want to achieve and what I want to do, our friendship might be good for a while. It might be good for that stage I am in life. If you have refused to grow, you have refused to add value to your life, then I have to say no to you. With time, I just have to go away and then cut you off. And I think that has been able to work for me, because I have a lot of friends that when I see them today, and then it's like, we used to be close with this guy, we used to be close with this person. Yeah, we used to be close and we used to be, yeah, friends. But something happened along the line. Growth happened. Not because one of us becomes so proud, or one of us becomes so rich, and then one of us become more educated. No, growth happened. And then for each stage, the requirements are different. So as you're growing in life, you know that at one point, not everybody will fit into the conversation. Not everybody will fit um, into the pattern. Well, not everybody will fit into the requirements of the season. So you should be able to dictate and okay, this person we have been friends for a while. What's happening with them? Are they growing or they are not growing? And then if they are not growing and they are not willing to, you need to say no to them and learn how to walk past them. You still be friends. You still say hello, hi. I'm not saying you should start beating people because okay, they are not going away. Because eventually everybody is not going to go away in life. So you'll be able to tell yourself, okay, this is what I want to do and this is how I want it done. Once you, once you tell yourself that and then you just walk through. Sorry, sir, I've been trying to bring you on, but it's not connecting and I don't know. So Messi, I've been seeing Messi. I don't know, Messi, do you want to say hi to all of us? I appreciate you for staying with us. And then who again? I'm trying to see those who are viewing us. I saw Messi, and I think the other time I saw Lovina. I don't know if she's still online. I don't know. The few people that have been here. Let's see if you can. Oh, Mr. Lawrence Lawrence is actually showing me connection field. And I'm trying to add you all this. I say connection field. I would have really loved to have your final words on this conversation before we go. And then probably you tell us about Team Nigeria because I was not privileged to follow that program. Maybe you should have, if you're able to connect back, you tell us before we actually go off right now. It's 9:05, so it's almost been 1 hour plus. Uh, I have my friend and I know you will not want me to say this, but he's a mentor. Mr. Jude, he has been here with us. I think he has been viewing us. So I don't know, Mr. Jude, do you want to let me see if you can join us and say hello to us? Uh, I would have loved to have you here. Speak to us too because Mr. Jude is somebody I've learned a lot from and then he has been a very good influence to me. And I've learned a lot from him. And I am pleased to tell our viewers that Mr. Jude is one of the admins at Alexia Africa. He's one of the persons that I've shared my goals with. So I actually like going around him and having conversations with him because they're actually productive and fruitful. So it's all in line with what we are discussing here. That you should keep people around that share the vision. And I know, even though very much, most of the preparation, I actually informed him, he still made out time to see that he's here. I wish, Mr. Judy, if you can hear me, please, can you just drop us a comment? If, because I'm trying to connect Mr. Lawrence to give us his final words. I don't know if you all can come through via comments because I've been trying to add and bring you on so that I give your final words and then no way. The network is still a challenge. So thank you guys. I don't know. The network is just something else. But whatever it is, I just want all of us to know as we have learned this evening and through the initial part of the video that peer pressure can be on anyone. No matter your age, no matter what you have achieved. Because at every stage you get to in life, there is a cycle for it. And then you belong to one clique or the other, or one circle or the other, and then you guys talk things within that circle. So I've said all the thank you, hoping that network will allow us to come up together and talk, but no, it's not working. And then our time is far fetched. So having said that, and then we can't have Mr. Lawrence give his final words, but honestly, I really hope that we have this conversation subsequently again, and then we are able to elaborate more, and then if possible, we'll look at the literal works that have been done or the works that have been done, maybe expert works on peer pressure, and then see what we can come up with. So far, I've not been able to add anyone, and okay, Mr. Lawrence, I honestly want to apologize. We are not able to bring you on, and it's almost time for us to go. I think during our next broadcast that we will come up with something. We will sit down and discuss again. And I really hope we'll get a better network and all that. So thank you very much, sir, for making that all effort to join us. I really appreciate your effort of going all the way, leaving where you stay and then trying to go out of your way to make arrangements to be online and have the required power and then the network and everything. So I appreciate you, sir, and I hope that next time we'll have you here. And then it's my earnest prayer that God will continue to bless you and add to your knowledge and wisdom, and that God will give you the good strength so that you keep studying and then helping a lot of young people. I tell you that what you have discussed this evening, it was not just a lesson for our audience, but a lesson for myself too. So I actually learned, and I'm really happy because we're able to talk about little things that are happening here and there that we all ought to learn from. And I believe that members of our audience and the subsequent people who will be watching these videos, whether on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, Twitter, anywhere we're able to share the video, we'll be able to learn the same thing we have learned this evening. And to our viewers, I hope we'll be able to come your way again subsequently. And I think we might not go wide, but just follow our page and stay put. We'll be coming your way again. Thank you very much. I say when Ayuba Michael, and with me this evening was our guest Lawrence. Lawrence is an aspirant of the bar. He's the organizer of Team Nigeria, and like I said earlier, he's one of the persons that have been able to counsel a lot of young people, counsel a lot of them, and then talk with them on certain aspects of life and how they should go about it. And he has been an example to a lot of young people at home, in school, and then outside on social media and so forth. Feel free to follow Lawrence on his Facebook handle, on his Facebook page, and even on Twitter and other platforms. I still want to say thank you to all of you for taking out your time to see us through, to watch us up to this time. Thank you. I appreciate you. See you some other time. God bless you.